doing? This is Wizard Snapper, the Wizard Gaming. I'm going to be doing my first video of quick review and upcoming predictions about Dragon Ball Super. There's a lot of controversy going on with that right now as far as where the series is, who the main villains are, what the outcome's going to be. Already so much has happened in the 69 episodes that are out so far. It started off kind of slow, retelling of Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, and then it moved further into the storyline with the Gods of Destruction tournament, and now we have the Future Trunks arc. I'm glad to see Future Trunks return. He was one of my favorite characters of all time from the original series. Dragon Ball Super as a whole, for me, has been amazing. I could ask for better, can't ask for worse, but it's been right on par with what I've wanted, and it just continues to deliver everything that I would hope it would be, and more. I just hope that there's a lot more down the road that they can offer. I hope it doesn't end anytime soon, which I don't think it will. But let's talk a bit more about the God of Destruction arc, where they had the tournament between Champa and Beerus, with their sets of fighters. It was a great tournament. We got to see some old favorites come back from Dragon Ball Z that haven't been used in Super. The one part, well, there's two parts about that tournament that I especially like. One, the fact that Piccolo got some screen time when he was doing his multi-form technique in conjunction with charging up the Special Beam Cannon. I know that's not the technical term, but that's what I like. That's what I grew up with in the dub, and in the video game, so that's what I'm used to. It was fun trying to see him hold off Frost as well as he did, considering that Piccolo at that time couldn't have been more powerful than probably, I would say, a fully upgraded Super Saiyan. And that's Super Saiyan 1. Do I think that he could take on, give Perfect Cell a run for his money? Sure. Do I think he could stand up to Super Perfect Cell? Absolutely not, because it took a Super Saiyan 2 in order to do that. But it was wonderful, because when you saw Piccolo use this multi-form before, I think the last time that we saw it was in the Saiyan Saga arc, when he was training to fight the Saiyans. I believe in the old style of Z, he used it both in training with himself and with Gohan. And I believe in the Kai dub, we just saw him training with himself with the multiform. Now, the reason why I think he did this was because he knew that Frost was a very strong opponent. He was very outclassed, so he had to be on the move. He had to deceive. He had to use tricks. in order to land that one perfect special beam cannon in order to do some kind of damage to Frost. But that being said, Piccolo, I think, did an excellent job, excellent use of his character. And then my second favorite part, or not my second favorite part, my first favorite part of the God of Destruction tournament was when Goku pulled out the stops against him. Not only did he go Super Saiyan Blue or Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, he went Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10. We haven't seen the Kaioken since the Otherworld tournament after the Cell Saga in the filler episodes of Dragon Ball Z. He used the Super Kaioken against Pikkon back then, and now he used the Kaioken times 10 as a Super Saiyan Blue. You can't ask for anything better than that. I mean, how cool is that? It blew my mind. I was sitting back in my chair with my jaw open. I couldn't believe it. And it pains me to say that we haven't seen him do that since then. And it's been, what, 20-some episodes since that? And they've talked about it, but he hasn't actually done it. And now during the Future Trunks arc, and we've got this, we've got two enemies. One that we just learned about, and the other one we've known since the beginning of the Future Trunks arc. The first film that we saw was Black Goku, or Goku Black. We didn't know if he was Goku from the future, or if he was an imposter, an imposter. We just didn't know. But now we know that through the help of his accomplice, the second villain of the arc, Zamasu, he is a clone of Goku in the image of Zamasu to do his evil bidding. And then Zamasu also wished for immortality with the use of the Super Dragon Balls. He used time rings that the Kaioshins are given to look back and forth in time to see the outcomes of different things, how things are supposed to progress, stuff like that. They're training tools, not meant to be used to change or manipulate time in any way, but just to observe. And once Zamasu learned of these rings, he wanted to use them for his own selfish purposes. So now we've got Black Goku and Zamasu in the future, and Future Trunks is having a hard time with them. And we've learned that Future Trunks had a run-in with Deborah and Babidi in his timeline, and with the help of the Supreme Kai, Future Trunks was able to unlock Super Saiyan 2. A much stronger Super Saiyan 2 than what we saw in Dragon Ball Z in Goku and Vegeta. So, right now, I think we just passed episode 69 in Dragon Ball Super, and forgive the spoilers if you haven't seen any of this yet. If you haven't, I recommend finding a place online to watch that. There are numerous sites available where you can do that. If you don't have a problem reading English subtitles, or if you understand Japanese, more power to you. But let's get back to the review. We had Future Trunks had to travel back in time to get the help of Goku and Vegeta because he was powerless against Black Goku. Um, so he needed Goku and Vegeta's help in order to do that. And when he got there, when Future Trunks got to the past, he didn't realize how powerful Goku and Vegeta had become. And when he first saw Goku, he tried attacking him because he thought that Goku died during the Cell Saga, and he didn't know that Goku had been revived with the Dragon Balls, or not that he was revived with the Dragon Balls, but Elder Kai gave up his life so that Goku could be brought back to life in the Buu Saga to help Gohan with the Patari Eras against Super Buu. But once Future Trunks realizes that it's the Goku of the past and not Black Goku, things start taking off from there, and they have to repair the time machine. It ran out of fuel because Future Bulma only had enough time to make half a tank of fuel, which was just enough for one trip, one way. So they had to figure out a way in order to make more fuel for the time machine. So they did that, and they actually found the blueprints for the time machine inside the time machine because Future Bulma was smart enough to say to herself, my past self should be able to repair the time machine with these blueprints, and that's what current Bulma was able to do. Unfortunately, Future Bulma died at the hands of Black Goku. So Vegeta, Goku, and Future Trunks are ready. They go back to the future. No pun intended on that. So they arrive in the future, and they're met with the human resistance, or what's left of them. They attack Goku, thinking he's Goku Black, and Future Trunks tells him to stand down after firing off some rockets and RPGs and automatic weapons and stuff like that. It was kind of fun to watch. And then you see the rest of the survivors. There's not many, maybe a few handfuls, if that. And then we see Mai as an adult again, which we saw her earlier in the Future Trunks arc. She's still there trying to protect the survivors. Not that she's a fighter, but she's more of a tactician. She can strategize really well, and she has all that knowledge at her disposal on how to survive. So she's a great use to the survivors. So then Vegeta does something purely out of the kindness of his own heart, and we haven't seen much of this in Dragon Ball Super. We see different changes in his life since Dragon Ball Super started. He's a better family man than he used to be. I don't think he'll ever be the perfect family man, but we can now see that he cares enough about his family and other people to know that he has a good heart. So he pulls out a capsule, and he opens it, and it's a full-style buffet that he had packed before he left for the future. and he fed all the survivors. They were happy with it. They're not having any food, so that helped them out a lot. And then then we see someone in the corner, a very familiar someone, which I can almost guarantee made everyone laugh. Who do we see hunched over in the corner, stuff in his face? None other but Yajirobe. Somehow he survived Black Goku's destruction, and apparently he did so because Korn offered his life and gave Yajirobe his last sense of being, and it allowed Yajirobe to live. So it was great to see Yajirobe again. He was, I think he's the last surviving Z fighter, if you can actually call him a Z fighter, that's left in the future that we know of. There might, according to history, they're all gone. They were destroyed by the androids. But we don't know. There could always be another surprise around the corner. We don't know. But for the moment, they're all presumed to be dead. So Black Goku comes back, and Goku, Vegeta, and Future Trunks go out to fight him. And Vegeta got his butt kicked, Goku got his butt kicked, and of course Trunks got his butt kicked because Black Goku, as far as we've seen it, is stronger in his base form than a Super Saiyan Blue. So you've got all of them, and the three of them aren't powerful enough to defeat Goku Black. So they have to go back to the past in order to regroup themselves and figure out what they're going to do, so that they are better prepared the next time they go and fight Black Goku. Well, on the way back to the past, Black Goku uses one of the time rings and snaps himself to the past. He destroys the time machine. But since Bulma already had the plans for the time machine, they were worried about how they're going to get back to the future. But if you remember back in the Cell Saga, Cell, the one that they all fought, was from the future. He stole Trunks' time machine and created another alternate timeline. The time machine that Cell used to go back to the past, Bulma kept. She stored it away in a capsule, and she had to go find it because it's been, what, 20 years since she last saw it. So she finds it, and then now that she has the blueprint, she can repair it for the damage that Cell did to it, and they're able to get back to the future. So once that's done, the three of them, they go back to the future, and Vegeta says, "Let me go first." He kind of has a personal vendetta in this. So right off the bat, Vegeta goes Super Saiyan Blue, and Goku Black is kind of getting tired of these transformations, and he says, "Let me show you what a real Super Saiyan power is supposed to be." So he starts powering up and he transforms. He's got this red and pink aura. His hair goes pink. And he calls it Super Saiyan Rose. This is the first time we've seen it. And by the looks of it, other than color-wise, it doesn't look any different than Super Saiyan 1. But Vegeta tries his best, and it looks like there is no stopping Goku Black. And Vegeta winds up going down, and then Goku, he steps in. He can't get it done, and then all of a sudden we hear a voice from the sky, and Zamasu shows up, and then we realize that the two of them have been working together this whole time. And which actually surprised me is that Trunks was able to fend off Zamasu's and Goku Black's attacks. Now, given he was getting his butt kicked, but he was also able to survive, which is very, very surprising because he is definitely not as powerful as Goku and Vegeta at this point, considering Future Trunks isn't a Super Saiyan Blue, and his power pales in comparison to any of the other main fighters right now. So it was kind of surprising to see, but they retreated because they couldn't win. And then Goku says, "I have to do something to get stronger. Something has to happen." And then that's where we left off. And now I'm going to give my predictions, or my theories on what could happen. There's going to be a few of them. Do I think that they're going to introduce Super Saiyan 4? No. That was something completely. It's not canon. Even though I think it had a great storyline, it had great animation. It was good. I didn't find it terrible. I watch it from time to time. Do I think Goku's going to turn into a Super Saiyan 4? No. Do I think Goku is going to turn into a Super Saiyan 5? Like we saw in the AF pictures so long ago, spring up on the internet? No. But what I do think is possible, not only plausible, but possible, and these are good chances of this happening. At this point, we've seen Goku train his hardest. Him and Vegeta together were able to unlock Super Saiyan Blue. I believe they did that in Whis' version of the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, although Whis said it was like a special training spot for gods and deities, so maybe he felt them worthy enough in order to go there, considering they had God Ki. Although at that point, before that happened, we weren't really sure if Vegeta had God Ki. We never saw him go through the ritual that Goku did. But since he'd been training with Whis before Goku did, we might never know the answer to that. But getting back to Goku, I think it is entirely possible that Goku will reach a new form, a new transformation. Now, there are a few different ways that I think that he can do that. Number one, and we're going to go all the way back to the Namek Saga right now. We know that Elder Kai, or not Elder Kai, Guru, the Elder Namek, that we first saw on Namek, he was able to unlock the inner potential of an individual, and awaken their psychic powers to a point. Now, we saw him do this with Gohan, and this will lead into my second theory on what could happen. Guru unlocked Krillin's potential, he unlocked Gohan's potential, and he unlocked Dende's potential. I'm pretty sure he did it for Nail, although we never see, he probably did it years before that. But that's neither here or there. The point is, Goku, if Guru knew how to do that, it'd be safe to say that Mori, the new Elder of Namek, might be able to do the same thing. So, Goku could travel to New Namek, using the instant transmission, and we all know they hold him in such high regard because he's their savior. I'm sure that if he asked Elder Mori to unlock his potential, Elder Mori would have no problem doing it. He'd be happy to do it. This is where I'm gonna pose a question here real quick. If Guru, the Elder Namek at the time, could unlock someone's hidden potential, then why was it necessary for Gohan in the Buu Saga to get it done a second time, if it had already been unlocked previously? And this is where my second possibility comes into play. Goku could go to Elder Kai and ask him to unlock his sleeping powers, just like he did for Gohan. Now, we saw the different power boosts that each one yields. Krillin, back in the Namek Saga, got a big boost. He didn't get much stronger after that. He might have a little bit, but not by much. Gohan definitely got a whole lot stronger. I mean, he was able to go from that sad, whiny little kid, and then we saw him become this big, brave youngster who took on Frieza in his final form. Now, that takes guts, and I understand that Gohan did it out of anger because he thought Frieza had killed his father. I get all that, but Gohan knew that he wasn't as powerful as Frieza, but he still took the chance. And that says something. That power boost that he got from Giru was probably a major power boost. Not only that, between the time he got his potential unlocked to when Gohan fought Raccoon and Goku gave him the Senzu Bean, his power went up even more because of a Zenkai boost. That's possibility number one. Possibility number two, Goku goes to Elder Kai and asks him to unlock his potential like he did Gohan. That could be a possibility. Number three, I don't think at this point we're going to see another Super Saiyan transformation without a catalyst. And this time, I don't think anger is going to be a catalyst. I think that there will be another transformation. Maybe not just one that is off the top of our heads. Like, everyone's probably thinking, oh, we're going to see another Super Saiyan transformation. He might become a Super Saiyan Rose. He might become a Super Saiyan White. I don't think we're going to see either one of those when it comes to Goku. What I think Goku was trying or thinking about, or if I were Goku, this is what I would think about. The Kaioken has drawbacks, and even though Super Saiyan Blue internalizes your ki energy instead of dispersing it like Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3, it's better for your body than the other three because your ki's internalized and it can't escape your body unless you want it to. And that, combined with the Kaioken, was an excellent idea, although very, very risky at the same point, or at the same time. Okay, so possibility number 3. Do I think there's going to be another transformation? Yes. Now, what kind of transformation? I just talked about the Kaioken, and how he already has that in his arsenal, but doesn't use it for very obvious reasons. But if only there was another transformation or ability that Saiyans had that would multiply a Saiyan's power, speed, everything. Let's think back to Dragon Ball and the first season of Dragon Ball Z and the Saiyan Saga. What did we see? Grade 8. Goku's, in my possibility number 3, Goku's going to realize that the Kaioken, although a brilliant technique, definitely saved his skin a few times, he has to move on from that. And he's going to realize that the only other time, or the only other way that he knows a Saiyan can get stronger naturally, without limitation, is by turning into a grade 8. Now, I'm almost certain that he's not going to think of this himself. Vegeta is probably going to help him out with this because Vegeta has the most experience with it. We've seen Vegeta with a tail. We've seen Goku as a tail, but only as a child in Dragon Ball. And we've seen Gohan with a tail in the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. Now, another thing that bothers me is that a sensu bean is supposed to completely heal you, and given the amount of sensu beans that all of them have eaten, their tail should have grown back no problem. Now, let me rip a page out of GT's book. In GT, Elder Kai had an idea for Goku to unlock more of his power, because not only does your tail allow you to transform into a grade 8, but it also gives you a big power boost without turning into a grade 8. And that was Elder Kai's thoughts in GT when he said to Goku, you need to regrow your tail. And that's what they did. They had to force his tail out, but they did, and it did give him a major power boost, but what happened afterwards isn't important for this discussion. Goku needs to get his tail back. He needs to go to Vegeta for training to learn how to control his Uzaru form. and maybe Goku will be the first one to integrate Uzaru and Super Saiyan at the same time. Like, maybe he can integrate Uzaru and Super Saiyan Blue into one form. We've seen a few different forms of Uzaru over the years. We've seen the brown Uzaru, the standard regular Uzaru. We've seen a yellow Uzaru back in Dragon Ball Z, which was supposedly the legendary Super Saiyan. And then in GT, we saw Golden Uzaru, which enabled them to transform into a Super Saiyan 4. Do I think he's going to go... I said before, he's not going to go Super Saiyan 4. But do I believe that Goku can find a way to integrate the Uzaru form with Super Saiyan God Ki, or just God Ki? Absolutely. With proper training from Vegeta to learn how to control his Uzaru form, I think that's definitely possible. And I think that as powerful as Goku is now, just in his base form, it's speculated that he's just as powerful as Buhan. When Subaru absorbed Mr. Gohan, or Ultimate Gohan, whatever you want to call him, that's how strong Goku is in his base. At least that's the theory right now. And someone that powerful in their base form, try timesing that by 10, which is what Uzaru does for you. It increases all your abilities tenfold. And those are Vegeta's words from the Saiyan Saga. It is very possible that I think that this can happen. Do I think that they're going to surprise us with what they plan to do with Goku? Because I know they're going to leave Vegeta out of it, at least in the beginning portion. They always do. Goku's always the first to reach new heights. So it's going to be Goku first. And then we might see Vegeta get this ability, we might not. Although Vegeta has been getting a lot more screen time and respect and abilities in Dragon Ball Super than we did see him get in Dragon Ball Z. But Goku will be the first one to get this new ability, whatever it might be. So let's recap here for a little bit on my possibilities. He gets potential unlocked by Mori on New Namek. He can get his sleeping powers awakened by Elder Kai. Or 3, he can find a way to regrow his tail, and then have Vegeta train him in his Uzaru form, and integrate Uzaru with God Ki and or Super Saiyan, and that should be something truly spectacular. That's my thoughts on what could happen in the near future in Dragon Ball Super. I think it is excellent. I'm going to continue watching, and I hope everyone else does too. If you like this, like, comment, subscribe. Have fun watching.